Hey, Owls fans, welcome back to the latest episode here of the Rice Unfiltered podcast. I'm Luke Mauro. We'll be joined by Coach Edmonds here in just a moment, talk about the Rice women's basketball team. Shelby Hayes will join us as well from the women's side of things, and then we'll catch up with J.P. Heath and Coach Lanier and Nick Anderson from the men's side of things later on as well. Make sure you subscribe so you can get these videos as they drop on YouTube here every Wednesday, or get the audio-only version wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple. Subscribe there as well so you get these podcasts every Wednesday. Coach, appreciate you joining us. How's everything going?
Thanks for having me. It's great. It's great going into a bye week, right, where we have a little bit of time to refresh and relax and fill our cups back up and be ready to go. But coming off a big win, obviously, at UTSA, so life is feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Let me ask you about that win against UTSA. You know, that's been a tough place for anyone to go in and win. They had won 22 of their last 24. I know it was the first win for your coaching staff in that building with Rice. Just obviously, you win on the road in the conference. That's always big. But what did it mean Saturday to get that grinded out type of victory in a big conference game? Yeah,
for sure. It's a really hard place to play. Karen does an incredible job with her program. They are very stingy defensively. They're at the top of the conference in their defensive efforts. And you're right. It's been a really hard place for us to be able to go and get wins. And so I think this group just rallied together. They knew, that we had came up short there several times. And so I think they just rallied together and knew that they wanted to be the team to change it. And I keep saying that this group is built different. And I think Saturday was another opportunity to prove just how different they truly are.
I brought this up with you on the post game after that win, but I'll do it again because I thought you gave a really insightful answer. You know, this Rice program, and Anthony can fact check me on this, the 9 wins away from home before February, it's the first time Rice has done that, at least in this century. I only went back to 2000. I didn't have more time to continue to go back. But the question I asked you after the win on Saturday was just, what is it about this group that makes them different in that sense, that you're able to go win at South Florida and FAU, and now that win on Saturday and North Texas. I mean, these are tough places to play,
sure.
But your team's been able to handle that adversity and get out of there with these road wins.
And just go back to our motto, right? TNT, today, not tomorrow, but also today, not yesterday. And every single game, these young ladies go in with respect for the opponent, respect for the preparation, respect for the building that we're going into, just, whatever their records may be at home. They have respect for that. They go in knowing that they want to be different. They want to come out with a win. They're putting their best foot forward every single day, and they've consistently done that, which is really hard to do. I think our staff has done a great job of putting their backs against the wall for every single game and finding something to try to give us a little bit of edge, to have a little bit more fight in us. But I also think that this group is just really tough and together. And in moments of adversity, our huddles get tighter. You can oftentimes see other teams, not necessarily in the American, just if you're watching basketball, you can see other teams' huddles get a little bit looser, and you can see fingers starting to point, or you can see body language not be where it needs to be. Our huddles are getting tighter in moments of adversity, and the players are looking me in the eyes, and they are saying, we're going to go do it. And I say, hey, we need to get a stop and a score and a stop. And they're like, all right, we got you. And so I just think that toughness and togetherness that we have in moments of adversity is really shining right now.
Victoria Flores led the way in that win on Saturday with 33 points. Career high for her, most points for a Rice player in, I believe, 3.5 years now. And congratulations to Victoria. She was named the Player of the Week for the American Conference.
We got one.
Yeah, there's a lot of honorable mentions this year.
Yep.
I was waiting for that first one, and it was Vic this week, so congratulations to her, and of course your program for getting that honor. But I guess just Saturday in particular, what stood out about her performance, with those 33 points?
Yeah, she was incredible. She really willed us to win that game, and she did it from start to finish. Her shooting was incredible. She was nearly perfect from the floor, from the stripe. She did a great job. I challenged everyone before the game. We need the best versions of every single one of you if we're going to get this win. And Vic gave us her absolute best version of herself, and we wouldn't have been in the position we were in without Vic. And they were aggressive defensively. They were really challenging her, pressuring her, and I know she probably is upset with herself for the turnovers, but we wouldn't have been in that position we were in without her. And so the ball's in her hands a lot of the times, and she's handling that pressure with a great stride. And so she did everything we needed to do to get out of there with a win.
She's the only point guard in the top 5 in the conference in free throw attempts. Usually when players get to the line so often, it is the forwards that are battling inside. What is it about her game that allows her to be able to get into the lane, draw those fouls, and get to the free throw line as often as she does as a point guard?
She's a great shooter, right? And so players are trying to take away her shot. So then often they're not as disciplined on the closeout because they're trying so hard to close out hard to her, which allows her to have an advantage. And she's quicker this year than she was last year. She's more confident this year than she was last year, and so she's doing a better job of playing off the bounce, initiating some contact, taking contact, finishing, but just ultimately it starts with a mindset of I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive and make something happen either for myself or one of my teammates. But I think it starts with her ability to shoot the basketball.
I've asked you about this in different ways as well throughout the year, but kind of the selflessness of this team. I don't know if it's something you can see when you scout these players, but I do think it's fascinating that as I've talked with you over the last 2 games, you go back 2 games ago, Dominique Ennis wasn't having the best of her performances, but she nails the 2 big shots. The other day, it was Haley Adams who wasn't shooting it all that well, but then she hits the big shot in the 4th quarter. And as you brought up in the postgame, regardless of the points, Haley and Anaya Alexis did their job on the glass with the rebound. So what is it about that team where, there seems to be no egos? You have the depth, but they all play so well with one another, and they're selfless in that they just do whatever it takes to go win.
For sure. I think it's just a balanced attack. The starting group, but also the players that are coming off the bench. No one cares about the personal recognition. They want to do whatever it takes to get the win for the team. And if that means I'm not going to score as much this game, but I'm going to knock down a shot when it's needed, I'm going to defend and I'm going to rebound when needed, they're okay with that. And if it means, hey, I need to step up tonight and I need to be the one that's scoring for the team, then they're ready for that too. I think it's just that willing to do whatever it takes to win mentality. And that's going to be different every single game. And I think that's what also makes this really dangerous is that if you take away a Haley and an Anaya from scoring, okay, you still got to deal with Shelby. You still got to deal with Dom. You still got to deal with Vic. And you just can't take all 5 away. It's really, really hard to take all 5 away. So I think that's a good thing for our team. Then you have Lou coming in off the bench, giving the spark that she's been given for us too. That's tremendous for us as well.
You're coming off these last 2 wins where they're a little more of those defensive grinds. You score 65 points in the 2 victories. You're a team or a program that if you said tongue-in-cheek earlier this year to me, you're not used to being led by the defense. We've seen this team can light up the scoreboard. My point in all this is being how important is it for your team to be able to win in these different ways where the games that there is a shootout, you've had success there. These last 2 games where it is a little more defense grinded out, you have been able to win those games. How important is that for a team with the goals to be able to win in multiple ways?
Yeah, really important. I also told that to the team in the locker room after the game on Saturday. We've seen almost about everything we could possibly see, right? We've been able to battle through all different types of adversities to get wins. We've seen early leads. We've seen lose our lead late. We've seen defensive battles, like you said. We've seen us score the basketball really, really well. We've seen a lot of different things in games, and we've found successes through them all. And so again, it's just the will to win. It's the no matter what we need to do to get the win, they're going to do it. But to be able to win on a night where your shots aren't falling, where you're winning a game and you're seeing that Dom doesn't even hit a 3, right? It's great. It's great because you can still win despite not being able to shoot the 3 as well as we would have liked to shoot from all of our positions. Obviously, Vic shot it incredibly well, but just the balance attack and just the confidence of knowing, hey, we've seen this. Hey, we've been here before. Hey, we've done this before. It's got to go a long way.
Lastly, Coach, you mentioned it off the top, but you have this week off. How valuable, or in terms of the timing, how good is the timing to be able to get a few days here, work on some things, regroup, whatever, get a little break, and then get back out on the road against Memphis this weekend? Yeah,
really important. We have a big stretch coming up in February, a tough stretch coming up in February, but a lot of home games coming up in February, which is incredible. But this break was really, really important for our bodies, for our minds, to emotionally be able to step away and come back, and hopefully, again, like I mentioned, having our cups filled up and ready to attack March and finish this out the right way. But buys are really important. You have to win your days in the buy too. You can't just say, I can go out and do whatever I want and eat whatever I want and not care about this and not care about that. There's still a mission even on these off days, but we are doing a lot of things to take care of bodies and to take some time off and to fine tune some things with individual players. But I did mention several home games, so I do want to say, please come out. We have big home games coming up in the month of February and the month of March, and we could really use you guys. Come out, support, bring a friend. We need the crowd as our sixth man. We would appreciate it. You guys are incredible when you're here. We just need a few more of you, so bring some friends.
Absolutely. It's a fun team to watch, and they've been playing really well. Undefeated in the conference, undefeated at home so far this year. Back in action this weekend at Memphis, and then, as Coach said, home for a lot of February, which will be great for the program here coming down the home stretch. Coach, appreciate the time. I should have mentioned it in the beginning, but we're in Coach's office right now, so thank you welcoming us into the office.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. Best of luck here this weekend against Memphis.
Thanks. Go Owls.
That's head coach Lindsay Edmonds of the women's basketball program. We'll come back with one of her players. Shelby Hayes will join us on the other side, as this is the Rice Unfiltered podcast. Back on the Rice Unfiltered podcast, and pleased to be joined now by a member of the Owls women's basketball program in senior forward Shelby Hayes. Coming up in a little bit, J.P. Heath will sit down with the men's basketball coach, Coach Rob Lanier, as well as Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson, also the name of one of my favorite basketball players growing up, played at Illinois, played for the Orlando Magic, well before your time, Shelby, but let me start with that question. I mean, who were some of the players that you watched growing up that maybe you try to model your game after, playing basketball throughout your life?
That's a great question. Growing up, I grew up like a UT fan, so I always loved Kevin Durant, and my family was big KD fans on the men's side. And then women's side, I always loved Brianna Stewart. I thought she was a really good player. And so those are just two of my favorites that I grew up watching.
And now Kevin here in Houston.
I know. Yeah. Awesome to have him here.
Absolutely. Well, whatever you did, it's working for you. Having a great year, second on the team in scoring, second on the team in rebounding. What were some of the things that you wanted to work on from last year to this year that have now paid off for you so far here this season?
Yeah, just growing and being more dominant in the post. I think like this year I have a lot more opportunity to do so, and just going out and producing and being effective and efficient. Me and Coach Danny and Coach E talked a lot about just like when I'm going into the game, being effective and being reliable and not a liability. And I feel like this year I've really like accepted that role on the team and have gone in and just done my thing, and the guards have gotten me the ball and allowed me to perform the way I've been performing. And so I'm just really thankful and grateful to be a part of a program that wants to develop players and allows them to grow.
Yeah, what's that been like for you to be in the starting lineup every game this year? The minutes have been up this year. What's that been like as a process for you to take on a bigger load for this team and obviously, do your part and play so well?
Yeah, so it's been amazing. I think it's just awesome to see all my hard work pay off. I pride myself on being the hardest worker in the room, and so just to like see that actually come into fruition has been really awesome. And I'm so grateful once again for every opportunity that I get to step onto the floor, and also being a senior, right? Like you don't have that many more opportunities, and so just going out there and allowing myself to play freely and have fun and play confidently, and I feel like that's what's really led me to the success that not only that I've had this year, but the team as well. Like we play so well together and for each other, and it's just so fun, and I feel like everyone around can see how amazing the environment is just to be a part of something so special.
You've put up good numbers this season. You've scored 10 plus points in I think 9 straight games now, career high in steals, but it hasn't come without some adversity as well. You've had to wear the face mask all season. You've played with one knee wrapped up. There was a stretch there around Thanksgiving where you had both knees taped up and wrapped up. So just what has it been like having to navigate, the injuries and still go out there and play like you have?
One of our core values is toughness, and I know that the team needs me and depends on me, and so I'm going to go out there whether I need to have both knees taped up, a face mask, whatever it is. I'm going to go out there and just play hard and play for my team. And we've all faced adversity throughout this season, but just having each other to rely on and having a great support system kind of brushes that away. And to the face mask part, I've worn it so much that now I just get used to it. So
yeah, Ray Allen continued to wear it just because he kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Has it been the case that it's just become part of your, almost like part of the uniform now for you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's just kind of become a part of it. I've gotten used to it. I've worn it pretty much all season. So, I'm used to it, and I get a cool nickname, Bat Shell. So, it comes with its perks too.
Absolutely. I would say so. You just got out of class to come here and join us. This is obviously a very good school to come to, a school I could never get into. What's it been like balancing in your 4 years here? Obviously the basketball, but then the academics as well. What's that been like?
I mean, Rice is a really hard school, like you said, but we just have a great support system here where we learn how to manage our time. We have tutors that we can lean on. We have a great academic office who wants us to succeed. We have great professors who want us to succeed. And I think something special about Rice is the less number of students there are, the more like your professors get to know you. So I think most of my classes, the biggest class I've been in is probably 50 students. But professors know you by name, can talk to you and really support you. So yes, Rice is really hard. But like I said, there's a great support system here that helps you get through it. And these professors come and show up at our games. So it's honestly really cool. And not a lot of schools get to experience what we get to experience here. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Let me put you on the spot. Do you have a favorite class or a favorite professor in your time here so far at Rice?
I've had some really great professors. Our sport management department, I'm a sport management major and a business major, and our sport management department is number 1 in the country. So it's an awesome program to be a part of. Tom Stallings is one of my favorite professors, and I actually got nominated for the Rice Scholar Athlete of the Year, and so I get to go to that ceremony on March 5th, I'm pretty sure. And I chose him as my favorite professor for that. He teaches a sports sales class that I really love here. And then I also have another professor, John Miles, and he comes to all of our home games. He sits in the back behind the commentators, and he's awesome and so supportive. And that's actually whose class I just came from. So shout out to John Miles. But he's awesome and so supportive of us.
Well, congratulations on that honor,
Thank
first and foremost.
Thank you.
When your basketball career does end, what is it that or if you never played basketball at all, like what is that other passion that you would like to do professionally or spend the rest of your life and career doing?
Great question. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I know I like sales. I've had internships in sports sponsorship sales, as well as like construction sales. But I do know what I want to do. I want to have a purpose for what I'm doing. So just exploring different avenues right now and trying to figure out what's best for me. And I know that whatever opportunity presents itself, like I'm going to choose the best one for me at that time. So just kind of figuring it out.
Yeah, still got time to figure it out. We got a lot more basketball games to be played first before you have to worry about that.
TNT.
That's 100%. I'll ask you about that in a moment. But I've been asking all your teammates in these conversations, I've been asking them specific questions that I'll throw your way too. Okay. Any superstitions on game day? Any pregame rituals or superstitions?
Some might laugh at me for this, but I always have to have, well, not always if it's not available, but I try to have Starbucks in the morning before games, and I normally get a cinnamon dulce latte from Starbucks.
Sounds good. I'm not a coffee drinker, but that sounds good.
Have to have my morning coffee.
I hear you. Hey, 1 p.m. tip-off Saturday against Memphis, so I don't blame you. I'm not a morning person. Music. Do you listen to any specific pregame music as you get ready for a game?
So I kind of mix it up. I'll go from rap to country, and some people think I'm insane for doing that, but I love all different genres of music. I'm actually in a DJ class this semester.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, so all new music can come my way if anyone has any suggestions. I just love listening to music and exploring different.
I asked you about the basketball idols and inspirations. What about when it comes to DJ? Who's the inspirations and the idols on the turntables?
Honestly, I have not a lot of experience in DJing. I just bought my first controller probably like 2 days ago, so I haven't really looked into all the professional DJs out there. But we have a DJ that comes to Rice a lot and does different Rice events. His name's DJ Friendzone, and he's taught a lot of people around the Rice campus, so maybe I can learn something from him as well.
Yeah, certainly. Well, we'll end on this and then let you get back to your schoolwork and your basketball training and everything. You mentioned TNT, and that's been the expression for this team this year, and you guys have lived it, and you're off to such a great season. But you know, what does that mean for you? What's that TNT message that you take in each day and apply throughout this season?
Yes, sir. Just focusing on today, not tomorrow, what we have in front of us. We can't focus 5 games ahead if we haven't even thought about the game right in front of us, and the practice, the possession, whatever it may be, focusing on that, because every little thing and every little detail matters. And so it starts with our preparation today, whether that's an off day like today, we're off today, getting our bodies right, making sure we're getting treatment, whatever that looks like for us, focusing on what we need to get done today so that we can be a better version of ourselves tomorrow.
Perfect. Hey, the women are back in action on the road Saturday at Memphis, and then, as Coach Edmonds said earlier, home for a lot of February. So come out and watch this team and come support Shelby and her teammates. Shelby, appreciate the time. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Hey, our pleasure. Coming up next, J.P. Heath will have Coach Lanier and Nick Anderson from the men's side of things after this, here on the Rice Unfiltered podcast.
Welcome back on the Rice Unfiltered podcast. I'm voice of your Rice Owls, J.P. Heath. This is Rob Lanier. Coming up here in just a little bit to round out the show, we will have Big 2-3 Nick Anderson. Coach, how you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. I am not going to ever blame you for anything, but we had quite the adventure coming out of Charlotte the other night, and I think it's because on the podcast last week we talked about all that snow, and like you're like, oh, it's nothing to me. But how about that trip coming back from Charlotte? And we got out in the nick of time, didn't we?
We got out in the nick of time, and it was a long trip back. Even the time we spent on the tarmac when we got back seemed extra long, But fortunately, we made an executive decision the night before. We appreciate Devon and Eric George assisting us in trying to figure it out. And had we not made it back, I don't know if we'd be back right now. So, thankfully.
Yeah, it took for. I know folks don't care about other people's problems, but about a 4-hour bus ride coming back down from Dallas, but we made it back, and we're here to talk some hoops. So how about the week that was? First off, the Charlotte game, since we almost got snowed in there. We talked about it. Might as well start there. Just narrow setback. It was so close. 10 lead changes the first 15 minutes of the game. What changed the tide where they really controlled it the rest of the way?
Well, they created a situation. Number one, they're a really good team and super well coached, deep, and they created a situation as the game went on where we had less and less margin for error. They made some tough shots, and I felt like competitively we were there in terms of just being engaged and being on edge. And to their credit, for every mistake we made, they made us pay for it. Sign of a good team.
How about the play of Trae Broadnax? He went over 1,500 career points on the trip. I know there's extra eligibility and some COVID factors still mixed in there, but just what's that say about Trae's career? Not too many guys get 1,500.
Yeah, he's a consistent performer, and he's a tough kid. He does put his heart into it. There's still some room for growth, and we want to try to make it here in the time we've got left together. But he's a joy to coach because he's such a high character individual. He likes being held accountable. So hopefully we can move the needle with him here down the stretch. But he's a great young man.
Yeah, speak to how you've managed your bigs lately. Stephen Giwa had that bang up against Temple a couple weeks ago, but you and the coaches have done a good job. And one of the guys stepping up recently has been Jimmy Oladokun.
Yeah.
Speak to his play and how you've tried to get the right bigs in there at the right time.
The last 2-3 games, he's been ferocious on the glass. And even the offensive rebounds that he doesn't get, he is pushing the other team to keep him off the glass. And that we want that to be emblematic of who we are, and he embodies that. And I think he's just right now at this point in the season leaning into who he is as a player instead of worrying about what he's not doing well, just really going after what he's good at. And it turns out that he and Steven both have that strength. So as Steven rounds back into shape and he gets a little bit more healthy, we'll have two formidable physical frontline guys for people to contend with.
And the ECU game, you get that W. You led for 38 minutes of that ball game, and you get out of Greenville with the win, 83-77. After the game, you're talking about learning how to close out a game.
Yeah.
That gave you a good opportunity.
Yeah.
What is it that stood out about that stretch?
Yeah, a good teachable moment. the more you're in those close games, the more you learn how to navigate them, the more those situations start to slow down for you. It was interesting. I don't know if you were in film the following night, but showing those guys how big the court is, how much space there is on the floor. And we were all bunched up. We didn't have our spacing. And when you're up like that and trying to hold on to finish the game, the other team is bound to play with more urgency and fly around and trap and do all of that. And when you got good guards, and we have good guards, the game should slow down for them. But it was good for them to see that on film, that how many people were open, how much space there was, and so it was good. And we were hoping to be in that situation again on Friday. But I think the next time we're in a similar scenario, we'll handle it much better.
Speaking of the game slowing down, we talked about Cam Carroll. Maybe he'll come on the show here before the season's over. But there's a moment after shoot-around. I know this happens every shoot-around in America. Guys are practicing free throws, but guys are razzing him, try to get him ready for a tense environment. Then he ends up hitting clutch free throws down the stretch against East Carolina. Speak to the freshman a little bit and what you've seen from him, because not only a special player but a special young man. Yeah,
you know what? If you were ranking guys on the basis of care factor, he'd be up there at the top. He really cares about this, wants to be good, and that's a two-sided coin, because he cares so much that sometimes the mistakes that he might make linger a little bit too long. And what I've told him, you play too many minutes to be worried about a mistake you made 3 or 4 plays ago. You got to turn the page and go to the next thing, and that's part of his progression as a player, is being able to play through the ups and downs of the game. And but even with that, in a critical situation, he stepped up and made some big free throws, but that's not a surprise.
Our last few chats, we've talked about how the team has bought in, where they're coming out ready to play, and you're seeing that extra effort. Next couple weeks or so, as we get into the thick of February soon, what are a few other things you want the guys to not only improve on, but just maybe even stress something they're doing well?
Well, in general, what we've talked about is February is different. I have this whole theory about different categories of teams when you get to February. But in a nutshell, there's teams that are playing for something and teams that aren't. Our women's program is playing for a regular season title. So there's no misgivings about their focus and there's going to be teams in every league that are going to be looking at the clock waiting for this to be over, because they don't have much to play for. And the fact of the matter is, everything we want is still in front of us, and we need to keep chasing it. So instead of begging these guys to compete and be together, I think we're at a point now where we can go into each game as coaches with a reasonable expectation that our competitive level is going to be high. Now execution and shot making, that always helps. Now it's more about detail, about the scouting report, about knowing who the shooters are and who absolutely needs to be kept off the glass, and leaning into all of those things. And that's part of our learning journey together as well.
Speaking of the conference race, last night, last couple games since we play, I was looking at the games, and every single game, coach, is coming down to 5-6 points, it seems. I should check with the conference and see how that compares to other leagues, but from my experience in the past in conference races, it seems every other team is playing the same amount of close games that we are. It seems like it's 2-possession games. It's
incredible. We go on the road and beat ECU. ECU goes on the road and beats FAU. We get demolished at Tulsa. North Texas turns around the next game. I saw that, Sarah. Turns around the next game, and they, North Texas beats them. That's league play, and in particular in this league. And I think this late in the league, there's so many new players in our conference that I think you're seeing teams come together at this stage of the season, because so many teams have gone through the conference with so many new guys that a lot of teams are forming right now.
We got Nick Anderson coming up next segment. No stranger to these box scores. He's led you in a lot of categories different times. Just give us a first impression or a story about Nick Anderson you remember recruiting him, and just what kind of makes him tick personally. I'm getting to know him a little bit because I've talked to him a lot in the post games now, but just tell us a little bit about Nick here.
Yeah, you know what? Nick is such a positive, good-natured young man that he's fun to coach. And I think his good nature, sometimes his approach to the game, sometimes could almost give off like a level of aloofness. And what I'm learning being around him is that he plays hard, he cares a lot, and he's in real time learning the complexities that go into winning, like all the little things, because he's so gifted. And rarely do you get guys with his combination of athleticism and shot-making ability. And so those things come naturally to him. And now the decision-making, the aptitude for scouting reports and all of that stuff, you could see as we've gone through the season that he's gotten better and better at his grasp of what goes into winning. And I think he's got a chance to be really, really good here down the stretch.
I'm going to ask him about his toughness because I forget which game. Older I get, the more they blend together. But he's taken a hard, I think it was ECU, might have been Charlotte, where he just hits hard against a deck, pops right up.
Yep.
He's had those games with his ankle. He just gets right back out there. He's a tough Houston kid, isn't he?
He is. He's got pain tolerance. He's a resilient young man. And in late game situations, I'm confident with him shooting the ball. I think he's a fearless offensive player for sure.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time. Appreciate you making the long commute up here to our perch here.
Stay warm.
Yeah, not bad. And no snowing this weekend coming up. But we want you out here at Tudor Fieldhouse, 713-348-OWLS, riceowls.com. Come see us. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Nick Anderson coming up next. Welcome back on the Rice Unfiltered podcast. Thanks to Coach Lanier and this guy here. He doesn't have a jersey, but you recognize that sweet Houston face anywhere. It's the great Nick Anderson.
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
It's going well, man. Great to be here. Ready
Yeah.
to answer whatever questions you got for me, man. This is exciting.
Yeah, we were talking about during the break. Nick is plenty well trained because he's had a lot of great games. He's been on the post-game show a number of times. What's more nerve-wracking, playing in front of like 10, 15,000 fans at like Tennessee or doing interviews?
Definitely the interview.
Okay.
Always the interview.
Really? Well, you hide it so well. You're pretty smooth.
I work pretty well in loud, rambunctious environments. You know, that's kind of my thing. So I like to keep it exciting.
Yeah. Tell us about the decision to come to Rice, being a local guy, which I know we've discussed in other settings, but just now that you've been here, almost I guess 8-9 months now, a while.
Yes,
what were your thoughts about Rice coming in, and now that you've been here a few months, have those changed at all?
Well, being from Houston and originally my first school being like 5 minutes away, St. Thomas, it kind of just felt like the perfect landing spot. Right in the heart of the city that I grew up in, and my house is accessible. My family's right there. I've got other family, around the city. My brother lives down the street, who's also my barber. So my barber's right there.
Right.
And yeah, it was just the coaching staff and everybody made me feel super welcome. It just felt like home from the second I stepped in here on my visit. So I kind of I had a feeling that this would be where I ended up in the portal process. I definitely had Rice at number one from the first day. So yeah, they didn't make it challenging. It was pretty easy.
You've had an interesting basketball path, like a lot of guys do these days in the portal era, but you being local, tell us the Nick Anderson story, because right now I see the Nick Anderson here now, like, my gosh, how was he not recruited to D1 level coming out? But I remember the game or exhibition we had against you,
yes, sir.
Against St. Thomas, for
Yes,
those
sir.
that don't know, now a D3, just stone's throw away from here. So
I think we might have lost by 50.
it was a close one, yeah. So give us the Nick Anderson path, and just what kind of led you here eventually.
Well, honestly, coming out of high school, I was just not very highly recruited. I felt like I was a decent player, but I definitely had some things to tighten up, some skills to work on, and just like the area I was in, I definitely excelled, but it wasn't the best basketball in the city. So I think that was part of it. And then my brother went D3, so I wanted to get the opportunity to play with him, which I did for 2 years. So that was really nice. And I just knew that I wasn't gonna have to leave and go out of state or anything for school. So just being able to go there at first for the first 2 years and kind of learn the game, learn how it works from a good coach in a good system, and develop myself as a player and as a person in the college basketball world, that was really nice. I feel like that gave me just a sense of kind of just knowing what it's like going from level to level. I got to see every part of basketball from Division III all the way up to this level. So I think just being able to look back on that and be grateful and compare the experiences has really helped me a lot. And I just also want people to just know that I know it's a lot of like transferring going on every day, and guys are going from school to school for whatever reason, but I feel like my journey's been a lot more just it hasn't really been about just jumping ship because of not liking somewhere or something like that. I think mine has all just been about growth, and each step has been to either a bigger division or just being seen more, better talent, bigger guys, and just trying to evolve myself as a player more and more before I get to play professionally.
I don't want to make you blush, but had Coach on, we were talking about your toughness, and he said some glowing things, not surprising about you, but just what makes you so tough? Because ECU, Charlotte games, heck, a lot of games behind us this season. You get punched in the mouth, figuratively, sometimes literally, you get right back up. What makes you so tough? Is that just ingrained in you? Did you learn that from somebody? Is that upbringing? I'll shut up and let you talk.
Man, that's just where I come from, my family, my background. My mom's always instilled in me, you get hit, you get up, keep going. Don't let anybody ever get in your head or have you down or have you, questioning who you are as a person. My older brother, always fighting with him from day one, physical or not. He chipped my tooth when I was like 3. So, it's just been I've been battle tested, a lot throughout my life, and not in any bad way, just, common things that everybody has to go through just to kind of develop that mental toughness and know that things are going to happen to everybody, and you just have to, go with the punches and keep going.
Well, I know that it's appreciated by a lot of Rice fans out there. You went over the 1,000-point mark for your career earlier this season. SID Tim calculates all the stuff, and I remember when it happened, it was a home game here. Mm-hmm. Did that mean anything big to you? You don't seem like a guy that's faced too much by accolades or honors, but what did the 1,000-point mark mean to you?
That was pretty cool, I guess. I mean, it was. It's just interesting because mine are all from different places, so I don't really get like that home feeling of like my 1,000 points was somewhere and everybody got to see me get that 1,000. It's like they're probably like, 1,000, but it was a pretty cool experience. I think, did we lose that game? I think we lost that game. I would have wanted to win that one. So
I guess that's
kind of
what matters.
Spoiled it, but it's all right.
Good segue. You're not even looking at my notes. What have you thought about the ebb and flow this season? How you guys and coaches told me in other interviews on the record, hey, he's challenged some of you older guys to take some of the leadership. Just give us your in the locker room perspective of kind of the ebbs and flows of the season as a whole.
Yeah, he keeps it really straightforward. He doesn't really sugarcoat anything, which I like. He tells us straight up, really kind of what he needs from us, and we try our best to deliver that to him day in and day out. Personally, he's told me that, he wants me to step it up as a leader just because, he knows I'm going to be out on the floor. He knows guys are going to be looking to me as an example, whether that's vocally or not, just because of what I'm able to do for the team. So I've been trying to work on being more vocal and just kind of leading by example, making sure guys can look to me for whether it's support or guidance, whatever they're needing, if they have a question to ask about what's going on. But at the same time, I'm still a student of the game, so sometimes I'll be out there confused too. So I try to not step out of my lane and be telling guys something that I don't even know myself. But if I got it down, then for sure I can lead my guys in the right direction.
Always something to learn, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Always.
Speaking again, the guy, it's like he's reading my notes here. But speaking of student of the game, I was forever indebted into the Nick Anderson fan club. I don't know if you know what I'm about to say. I forget if it was on or off mic, but do you remember when I asked you who the greatest player of all time is?
Oh, yes. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, there you go.
Michael Jordan. All day long.
Yeah.
No question.
Explain your stance, because surveying the scene the last 10, 12 years, not that LeBron is bad by any means, but that seems to be, not to stereotype your era, guys would say that. So my gen knows it's Jordan, but I respect.
I mean, if anybody, you've seen me play, obviously I'm not that much of a playmaker. I'm usually trying to put the ball in the hoop, and, that's what my guy Jordan did. LeBron, he can obviously do that as well, but he's more of a disher, make some stuff happen away from the ball as well. MJ's just, straight to it. I'm trying to kill. That's kind of how I like to play, so.
Is that why you wear 23?
That's why I started. I've been wearing it. Honestly, I've had a ton of numbers, but I've had 23 really from when I was like young in the AAU, maybe like 8 or 9 years old. So I've kind of fluctuated, but I've always loved the feeling 23 gives me.
Yeah,
so.
special superpowers
Yes,
there. Tell us, in the recent stretch here, going out to Carolina, the win against ECU, what have you seen from the team since conference play has come?
I think we have struggled to overcome a few hurdles that have kind of been bothering us for a while, just like communication-wise and really understanding what coach is trying to get us to do out there, like in real time. Sometimes just with everything going on, we can't really understand him, and we can tell that can kind of frustrate him. But I think we've done a good job of being resilient, especially in games where we're not playing well, nothing's going our way, and we just find a way to keep playing and eventually come back and either win the game or at least, have a chance to win. And I just like watching that everybody can fight. We don't have any guys that just really give up and, they're just done with it. Like, I'm the type of guy, I don't care how bad it gets, till that buzzer's over, I'm fighting. So I like the fact that we've been able to show that we can do that. And I like that Jalen has kind of come along, started being more aggressive. That's really going to help us in these next few games, try to get some wins and really solidify that spot in the tournament. But yeah, I think we're on the right path. With a few more things that come together. I think we'll be all right.
What's your favorite class or two at Rice?
Favorite class. I'm gonna shout out my guy, Professor Stallings.
There you go.
His class last semester, sports management.
Shelby Hayes mentioned him too.
Yep. That's a character right there. Great guy. Got to meet him if you get the chance. He knows everybody that's ever lived. So, oh yeah, he can tell you a lot. And then, secondly, I'd say I had a kind of startup ventureship, like a venture capitalist course last semester. That was a really cool course. Just learning, how venture capitalism works, angel investing, and starting your own business from nothing. And the class, we were listening to music in there and all types of stuff. So great environment. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, speaking of venture capital down the road, you've already hinted at, hey, you want to play this game as long as you can. Down the road, after basketball, does anything interest you? Or if somehow the worst nightmare came and you never played basketball, what gets Nick Anderson going? What would you like to do?
I'm super interested in real estate,
there you go.
Architecture, like design and stuff like that. I really like interior design. If you saw my room, you probably it's just a bunch of decorations everywhere, just random stuff.
You do it, or you bring
I
in
do
some?
It. Just me, all my vision, yes sir. We're really into design, of course, into sports. Even if I'm not playing, I would want to do some type of work around it. And pretty soon, I don't want to put a specific time frame on this, but I want to say within like the next year or two, I'm going to have my own athletic brand started up. So
really?
Yes, sir. Been brainstorming that for a little while.
More of probably an off-air talk, but I'll mention on there, do you know Aiko Adams yet?
No.
He's our all-time three-point leader. Okay. Or is he first or second? Anyway, him and Quincy. Anyway, he does that too. So
really? Okay.
Put you in touch with Ak.
Reach out to him. That would be awesome.
Good guy. Not that you would need my recommendation, but Aiko did a few of these.
He's the one with the record. I don't got nothing on him.
If he's watching, you're an old man now, Aiko. I remember you win. No. Hey, thanks for the time. Good getting to know you. And just can't wait to see what the rest of the season is. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you. Thank you very much. What are we doing here? Handshake there. That's
you.
Nick Anderson wrapping up the show here on Rice Unfiltered. Stay tuned coming up. You got the Rice YouTube page as well. Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff. Nick Anderson, stage right, everybody. Round of applause. Huge kudos. You're good. Huge kudos behind the scene MVP of the show, Sarah and Walter Engineering. Thanks to Coach Lanier, Coach Edmonds, Shelby Hayes, and of course, Big 2-3, Nick Anderson. I'm J.P. Heath. Have a great rest of this day or night. God bless. Go Owls, Rice fight. This has been the Rice Unfiltered podcast.